Sears is one of the oldest, most trusted companies in the United States. They were a retail store that survived the Great Depression. They survived both World Wars. They were run pretty well in capitalist terms. But now all of a sudden they're going bankrupt. And a lot of people are asking why this is happening. Now, a lot of people would say, it's not uncommon for these kinds of institutions to suddenly go under. Because for a very long time, brick and mortar stores have been going out of business, largely due to changes in the market, particularly with regards to online shopping. Amazon has hurt a lot of them. Now, here's what Sears itself says. This is Eddie Lampert. Eddie Lampert is the guy who, he doesn't run Sears anymore, but basically he did. He said it's the fault of employees who are retired. That's right. Essentially, they're claiming that the cost of the pensions of the people who work there were too much, and now they have to shut down. Now, this already happened after there was a collective agreement to make certain cuts in order to, quote, keep the business going. Well, now it turns out exactly what it was that caused the problem to begin with. And as a spoiler alert, it really wasn't the pensions after all. Now, let's go over exactly what it is this guy actually did. To make it quick and short, he ran it like a hedge fund. Essentially, this guy, Eddie Lampert, used to do mergers for Goldman Sachs and somehow ended up running Sears. Now, one of the things they did was they ran each of the departments as a separate business rather than as a collective whole. You know how the sum is greater than that of its parts. Well, they decided not to do that. This thing called synergy. Now, this was a big capitalist thing in the 90s and even somewhat in the 80s. It was a way to make the sum greater than the total of the parts. In other words, to make things work together, blah, blah, blah. So what they decided to do instead was run them as each separate businesses and sell off the assets and take the money. Okay, well, if you're looking to completely close yourself down, that's one way to actually do it. But here's the real rub. This is the real criminal nature of capitalism right here. What he did was he went out, loaded up the company with a ton of debt, and I'm talking billions, used the money to buy back stock. Now, stock buybacks is not something that's all that uncommon. It's very common now. In fact, it's largely believed that this is the basis for the stock market right now. Now, by using that money to buy back stock, it shot up the share price. And this meant shareholders were making more money. Who are the shareholders? His hedge fund. And this has also benefited other shareholders as well, including himself. So essentially, he boosted up the price in order to make more money for himself and other shareholders and his hedge fund. Now, where did they get this money from? Well, mostly that money was borrowed from his own hedge fund. So in other words, he loaned money to his own company, used that to boost the price of the shares, make money off those increased share prices, but then make money off the commissions and interest charges that would arise as a result of borrowing money from the hedge fund. So he makes money loaning to his own company that he runs. He doesn't really own it, but he runs it. So he loaned the money to himself, makes money off the interest of the loan, makes money off of the increase in the share price as a result, but in the end, didn't actually create anything. Now, that's right. The company is going under because it's under a massive amount of debt, along with other market factors as well. One of them not being the pensions, as previously mentioned. So essentially what he did was artificially inflate it, reap all the money from that artificial inflation, and then let it sink. Understand what we're seeing here. Failure is profitable. Capitalism incentivized failure. And not only did it incentivize it, it made it even greater. You get a greater reward for failure than you would if you had been successful. Think about that. You will make more money failing than succeeding, and that's what capitalism is. This is a scam that's been going around for quite a while now, and this is 100% perfectly legal. I mean, like, even capitalism itself doesn't even try to stop this. But I know exactly what you're saying. You're saying the same thing that so many other people are saying. But Jason, that's not real capitalism. Real capitalism, insert thing that never actually happens. Okay, so we're kind of used to that by now. So essentially, capitalism, in its pure own logic, its functioning, the very basis of the system, the own internal functioning of it, not some kind of aberrant behavior, but the very thing itself. If the profit motive is such a great thing, and that's the basis of capitalism, and it is, the profit motive, whatever seeks to create the greatest profits is the path that will be sought after. And that is exactly what happened. Sears, while born of some great abstract notion of capitalism, was literally destroyed by itself. It was destroyed by capitalism itself. And there is no point in, oh, this is just some corrupt, capitalist who did this. This isn't the thing that would really happen if we had real capitalism or not. So that this is it. This is the real face. And I think what's truly frightening about this is that we can probably expect to see more of this in the future. I think it's very likely that we're going to see this on other corporations as well. Corporations that can just have their assets killed. And that is one truly terrifying aspect of capitalism. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.